Yeah. Yeah.
So already? Okay.
Yep. Yeah, you can probably make it a little easier to talk Dad into getting a PS5 because you can play any PS4 game on it, so you can get rid of the PS4.
That depends if I get it or if I give it to Mom.
Well, then Mom can give it of her PS4. Yeah, we're live.
Yeah, okay.
Let me share it around.
Okay, so, and I'll do the intro.
Good idea.
Hey guys, we are back for some more Phoenix, right? Last time things got a bit hectic. Hectic.
Hectic.
Why? Why can I not say hectic? Things got hectic. Let's just say it like that. Things got really hectic. Like we found out that for once, our client is the killer.
Technically, he's not the killer, but at the same time, he did hire the killer.
But, technically, yeah, but at the same time, she was still involved really, really largely.
Yeah.
And, yeah, so he was technically hired all along because he hired the killer, whose name is Shelly, and that explains the conk on the card. Conk on the card.
Conk on the card. Card conk.
Conk card.
The conking card. It's not a calling card. It's a conking card.
Ta. What else?
Oh.
I honestly don't know what to do about Maya now.
Well, he said that we get another day.
Yeah, but he did it.
Right. So it's like, do we get him off the hook and get Maya back? Or do we sacrifice Maya because, my God, our client is evil?
So yeah, he has like a scar over his eye and everything. And
That's why he always had his hair over his eye. So you
I
couldn't
thought
see
that
it.
was just his hairstyle.
No, he was just hiding it, dude.
You know, like an emo bang cut. That's just their That's just their hairstyle. That's just how they decided to make their hair look. I thought that was just how he liked his hair. So it caught me by surprise. It caught me way off guard. Way off guard. Like Sean disappeared. Let me tell you about my day. Today was, for me, well, interesting. I had to wake up at stupid dark. I had to wake up at stupid 6 dark o'clock, which was really stupid, and I didn't think I could do it, but I did.
What?
I was telling them what I did today.
Oh.
Because he disappeared.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason for that is because Mom had a surprise for me. And she wouldn't tell me.
She didn't even tell Dad.
No, she didn't. She told Turtle though for some reason.
Because she had to tell some people. She told me.
Okay. Because you seem to know what I was doing when he said I was in a dinosaur mode.
Uh-huh.
And the surprise was basically you get in the car. It's like a bit of a Jurassic World Park tour. It's almost. It's like you download this weird like guide on your phone. Then as you drive past all the like fake animatronic dinosaurs, which are really cool, really. They're really cool, actually. Then they tell you about them. Although they will keep rambling and rambling and rambling. Then by the time they're done talking about one dinosaur, you're already on to the next exhibit. But it was a lot more fun than you think. Like, a couple of T-Rexes escaped.
Oh, jeez.
They ate Triceratops.
Oh, wow.
Actually, more than a couple. There was actually like plus the babies.
Plus the babies. That's not
6 of them. There were 6 of them.
Wow.
Yeah, because there were like obviously 2 parents, a mom and a dad, and then 3 little babies, and then like a teenager.
Wow.
I'm pretty sure a teenager was with the dad. Because that would make sense. Remember Jurassic Park 2, I think? No, 3. No, yeah. Yeah, 2. I always get 2 and 3 mixed up. Then I go to a stupid doctor appointment in Boston after that. On the bright side, though, I did get... Oh, and there were... Somehow we found the hallway with dinosaur pictures in it. I don't know how. And then I watched some new, like, Jurassic World series. It's on Netflix if you guys are interested. It's called Cretaceous Camp. Camp Cretaceous. It's quite good, although there's only 8 episodes. And I did manage to get a few souvenirs from the tour thing. At the end of my bed, way over there, that I cannot reach. Did they stuff Velociraptor? Can you grab him? I named him Charlie.
Of course you did.
It was the only name I could think of. Like, Delta and Echo are more of a grayish kind of color.
Right.
Charlie.
And blue is obviously yellow, so.
Yeah. Yeah, I know you're joking. I know that was sarcasm. Jeez, I'm not... Do you think I'm colorblind? Color deaf? That thing?
Color deaf. That's a new thing.
So Charlie's really the only brown one I know. Apart the one from the first movie, but that one didn't even have a name. But anyway, that was my day. It was hectic and exciting and interesting and exhausting. But yes. Now we're all done with that. I just need to get that out of the way. Take it away, Sean. Sorry, I have a habit of doing that. I just keep rambling and rambling and rambling and rambling.
Anyone who's watched any of our outros knows that.
I have a bad habit.
How did I get into this mess? That's far enough. You can't run forever, Mr. Phoenix Wright. What have I done wrong? I cannot allow you to go on like this.
We've had this room before.
But I'm just a simple defense attorney. Silence! You are no longer worthy of your title.
Yeah, we've had this room before.
Yeah. I've had this dream before. Someplace, some time ago. As if this day was written into my destiny. Today I'll stand in court as a lawyer. To prove a killer innocent. March 23rd, 9:43 a.m. District Court. Defendant Lobby Number 3. Hello, this is Phoenix Wright.
You don't look so well, dude.
You're gonna prove me not guilty today, right? Just click. If you please, Mr. Lawyer. Where'd you get that glass of alcohol? Remember, it's not just me. Your precious friend's life is riding on today's verdict, too. Ah.
Yeah, but then Maya says, now listen up. You better get on guard. A guilty sentence, okay?
Remember, she wrote that on the back of the picture.
If you get that creepy slime bag and not guilty, I'll never forgive you. Ever.
Maya.
Phoenix. Phoenix.
Mia. Maya. How's Maya?
I don't know.
You don't know?
She hasn't tried to channel me since yesterday.
Mia, what am I supposed to do?
Well, like I said, for a lawyer, the worst of times are when you have to force your biggest smile.
But
You can't give up. There's still some hope left.
do we have to, like, stall? Because remember, Edgeworth sent out a search team looking for Maya and to kill her. So if we stall long enough, they might be able to find her.
Right when we get to the last bit of evidence saying this guy is not guilty.
Right? Stop it, please. There's nothing left. Not here, not anywhere. Ah! Is that cursed on guard again? Will you leave me alone? Look, don't call me anymore. I mean it. You're really mean, pal. Ah, Gumshoe. I'm really, really sorry. Where are you? They let me join the investigation team, and we're chasing after the killer, pal. Then you have some sort of lead. Sorry, but right now we've got 0 leads on the guy. We're not going to give up. Gumshoe. Until the trial is over, until the verdict is handed down, we're going to do everything we can and find the killer. If we can get Maya out, then you can get on guard the guilty verdict he deserves, pal. Yeah, see? We just have to hope that they can find her in time.
Can't stall for too long now.
Right. That's true. I could do that if they found Maya first. You got that? So you have to do whatever you can to make the trial last longer. We do have to stall. I have to make the trial last longer? If you go to Mr. Edgeworth with everything you've got, then you two can draw it out. Oh, now I get it. So Edgeworth is literally on our side this time. We have to argue with Edgeworth, and Edgeworth has to argue with us, and we have to just keep on drawing it out longer and longer and longer.
This time the arguments are intentional.
Yeah. Well, it's intentional. We need to argue so that we can keep arguing. I believe in you, pal. You and Mr. Edgeworth can do it.
That's what I said.
I thought you said it's unintentional.
So, believe in us. We're going to give it all we've got, just like you.
Got it. Thanks, Gumshoe.
St. Phoenix. You understand now, don't you? You have something money will never be able to buy. Friendship.
Yeah, we're friends with Gumshoe, with Edgeworth, with... I mean, no, screw Edgeworth. We're still mad at him for some reason.
It's the strongest weapon in the world, and you have it in abundance.
Yeah. Looks like we're coming to the end. I have to make the trial last as long as I can. Gumshoe will come through, I know it.
Can't believe my life is in the hands of Gumshoe.
Right. March 23rd, 10 a.m., District Court, Courtroom number 3.
Can't believe her life rests in the hands of Gumshoe.
Court is now in session for the trial of Matt on Guard.
The defense is ready, Your Honor. The prosecution has been ready for a while, Your Honor.
Now, as I recall, we concluded yesterday's session with a big mystery on our hands. The mystery being what exactly was Miss Adrian Andrews' role in this murder. That is to say, is she really connected to the crime itself?
Which we found out...
No, not really.
Mr. Edgeworth, if you will please inform the court of today's proceedings.
Adrian Andrews. She forged evidence that threw suspicion onto Mr. On Guard, and then proceeded to escape the crime scene by wearing a nickel samurai costume. The guilt of these actions are those from which she cannot escape.
Then you're saying that she's guilty after all?
I'm not finished, Your Honor. Miss Andrews has nothing to do with committing the actual murder. I would like to direct the court's attention to this card.
What is that? Looks like a shell.
This is the calling card of a certain assassin.
Assassin, you say?
Yes, Juan Carrito was killed by a professional assassin. And the person who hired the assassin, his client so to speak, is Matt On Guard.
And what do we say against that?
What?
And what do we say against that?
I don't know.
What a surprising turn of events.
I would think it's become commonplace by now, Your Honor. I know what's going on in this time. So I know that everything Edgeworth has said is true.
But we still have to hold out as long as we can.
So we have to argue with them and keep going, no, our client's innocent. Our client's innocent. Your client's guilty. No, our client is innocent. Hold on, I got a phone call. Yeah, you got her? Yeah, he's guilty.
At least until Maya is safe and sound.
I wonder how the trial will turn out today.
Now then, please call your first witness, Mr. Edgeworth.
The prosecution calls the defendant's mentor, Mr. Will Powers, to the stand. Now then, witness, your name and occupation, please.
Okay. I'm, Will Powers. I'm a poor, underpaid action star.
And what is your relation to the defendant?
Well, I guess I'm sort of a lousy mentor to him in a way. Yeah. Mr. Powers, please. You don't need to put yourself down so much. Oh, sorry. Well, but I'm just kind of a nothing sort of guy.
On the night of the murder, you visited the defendant's room. Is this correct?
Yes.
I didn't know that.
But you know, I didn't actually get to see Matt when I went.
All you need to do is answer what you're asked. Now then, I would like you to please testify about when you went to Mr. On Guard's room.
Okay, sure.
Visit to Matt's room.
After the award ceremony, I went by myself to Matt's room. Matt was standing there in front of his room, still in his nickel samurai costume. He was talking with someone. At first, I thought it was the bellboy. I watched the two of them for a while, but then I gave up and went back. I had guests with me that night, and I couldn't make them wait for me. Nothing sounds out of place in Mr. Powers' testimony.
And talking with the bellboy is no big deal. If one assumes that the person Mr. Ungard was speaking with was an ordinary bellboy.
What are you implying?
Well, Mr. Wright, let's have your cross-examination, shall we?
So it's like we're in another sticky situation.
Huh?
A trap. Can you smell it, Phoenix? But for us to find out more, we're just going to have to charge in head first, right?
For once, we actually need to fall into the trap.
Just to keep this going.
Mm-hmm. I like this whole, like, hey, so this is the way trials are. Just flip it over.
That's what they were saying when I went to buy myself to Matt's room.
The defendant's room. Why'd you go there?
Well, I'm his mentor, like a big brother sort of, and I want to say congrats. What's wrong? Why did you stop? Mr. Wright,
What is it?
you're going to try and trick me into a corner, aren't you?
Huh?
I know I'm just a poor underpaid action star, but I'm not the killer.
No one said you were, Mr. Powers.
No, please, don't trick me. Every time you do your lawyer thing, the witness suddenly turns into the bad guy.
He has a point. Every time. Witness. I will personally talk to the defense at a later time. So for now, please kindly cooperate and continue with your testimony.
Sorry. So you went to the defendant's room, and then?
Hey, wait a minute. When and how did I suddenly turn into the bad guy here?
Matt was standing there in the front of his room, still in his nickel samurai costume. I sound a lot like Gumshoe right now, pal.
Kinda.
It's tough because I've got Gumshoe, the judge, and Will Powers that all have the same basic voice.
Yeah, why do they all have the same?
Because that's the voice I gave him. I didn't expect that I'd have to have all three of them talking. Are you sure that was...
It's, okay, the judge, same, except a little older. I got that.
Right.
Will Powers, same, but
He's kind of dweeby a little bit.
maybe a little.
Yeah.
Then we got Gumshoe.
He's a massive dweeb, pal.
Massive.
Are you sure that was Matt on guard?
Yeah, I'm sure. He wasn't wearing the nickel samurai mask then.
If that's the case, then he really can't be mistaken. And what was the defendant doing standing in front of his own room?
He was talking with someone. At first I thought it was the bellboy.
At first? What do you mean by that?
Well, he was in a bellboyish uniform, and he had a bottle of juice on a tray.
Sounds like an ordinary bellboy to me.
Yeah, but I didn't think he was a normal bellboy.
And why was that?
Why did I think that, Mr. Wright?
How am I supposed to know?
Sorry, but I can't remember right now. Sorry.
I guess I'm going to have to wait patiently on this one.
It's okay. We kind of need to.
Right?
I watched the two of them for a while, but then I gave up and went back.
You saw the two of them, the bellboy and the defendant, together, correct?
Yeah, the bellboy just wanted to say congrats.
Now, while you were watching the two of them, did you notice anything strange?
I did feel something weird. I think it was because Matt, he gave the bellboy a tip.
A tip? That's a perfectly normal thing to do.
So how long did you watch the two of them? Not more than a minute or two, I think. I had guests with me that night, and I couldn't make them wait for me.
So who are these guests you're talking about?
Probably us.
You guys, of course. You and Maya and Little Pearl. I thought it would be really rude since I invited you guys if I disappeared on you. So I went back to my seat pretty soon after seeing Matt in the hallway.
This is like squeezing water from a stone. It's probably pointless to press further.
Do you remember this incident? Did Mr. Power leave his seat that night?
I don't remember that happening at all. Maya was making such a racket in her hyper state. Ended up focusing on her.
I see. In any case, from his story, she probably wasn't gone for very long.
Alright, so we've got our badge, the Magatama, the picture of the Nickel Samurai, the press conference ticket, the radio transceiver from the killer, Lotta's camera, the magazine tabloid article, the map, the guitar case with water on the top, with just Juan Carita's fingerprints, a wine glass full of tomato juice with Adrian's fingerprints, murder scene, the button, suicide report, attempted suicide report, Juan's autopsy, he was strangled with a scarf then stabbed with a knife. There's the knife he was stabbed with. The picture that Lotta took that shows that the Nickel Samurai was too short. The calling card, or the picture card, sorry, they're calling it a picture card. The spy camera that was set to record from 8 p.m. for 1 hour. Transmitter that sent the footage somewhere. Missil's older brother with the camera in its right eye. A credit card report, receipt that proved that he bought a stuffed bear.
Missile older brother?
Yeah, look at that. It's just older Missil.
Older Missile would not be that big.
Well, he's obviously older, so he would be bigger.
Look at his neck. That's not a doggy neck.
The picture of Celeste that says, "With love, Celeste." And a wooden bear-shaped figurine covered in many thin cuts. And then
Probably
we've got...
a cat toy.
That would be my guess. And then we've got Maya, Pearl, Dick, Franziska, Miles, Will Powers, Lotta Hart, Juan Carita, Madame Guard, Wendy, Adrian, Celeste, and John Doe. I have an idea.
Do you?
Yeah.
What's your idea?
Well, he said that at first he thought it was the bellboy. Is this the man that you saw? Apparently not.
You would think that would count, given to what we're trying to do here.
Right.
You know, buy time.
Watched 2 of them, but then I gave up and went back. I guess with me.
Meow. Meow. That was Dallas, in case you could hear them. That was Dallas, in case you could hear them.
At first, what do you mean by that? I didn't think he was normal bellboy, and why was that? Why did I think that, Mr. Wright? Hey, wait a second. Actually, Mr. Powers, only a few minutes ago, you stated...
You know, I did feel something weird. I think it was because Matt, well, he gave the bellboy a tip.
We had to press again on the same thing. Could it be that you felt something strange about the tip-giving incident itself?
Ah, yeah, that's it. You really know your job. Mr. Edgeworth.
Yes, Your Honor.
This bellboy, he wasn't an ordinary one, was he?
Perhaps we should let the witness tell us.
Very well. Mr. Powers, please amend your testimony. You mean about the bellboy, right? Matt gave the bellboy a tip.
That's it. Okay.
Sorry.
Thank you. So he gave the bellboy a tip. What's so strange about that?
Oh, well, you see, Matt's not a poor penny pincher like me. I was trying to figure out how much it was because the tip really shocked me.
Was it a really small tip? How much it was?
But that's when something even more surprising happened.
I did not. I did not take a bite out of that burger. The little one did.
I was gonna say maybe it's Dallas. Maybe it was Dallas.
Your father fed that burger to Dallas.
That's when something even more surprising happened. The bellboy was putting the tip he got in his pocket. And that's when I got my first good look at the guy's face. I was really shocked. I'm afraid I don't follow it all.
He
Sounds
had
like
a
Mr.
zipper
Powers
on-
was surprised twice by this event.
He had a zipper down his face.
Right? I wonder which of his shocking moments I should ask about. The bellboy's face or On Guard's tip?
What do you think?
The face.
It's okay.
What was so shocking about the bellboy's face, Mr. Powers?
Well, he wasn't exactly a boy, more like an old gramps. I hope you know that discrimination towards old men is a no-no in my court.
I was gonna say.
No, that's not what I meant at all. In the smack middle of the guy's face, there was a line of stitches. A line of stitches? Yeah, it went straight from the tippy top of his head to the bottom of his chin. Almost like that thread, like if that thread snapped, all the stuff in his head would come spilling out.
Ah! He was there, at On Guard's house. He was that butler.
What is it, Mr. Wright?
Nothing, Your Honor. So that means On Guard was talking with the killer then. If that fact were to be exposed, On Guard would be declared guilty in a blink.
Phoenix, you have to play dumb here. Pretend you don't know anything.
Yes, Chief.
You sure you don't have anything you would like to say, Mr. Wright?
Huh? What'd you just say, Your Honor?
Not that dumb.
Nothing, Mr. Wright. Nothing. We're just going around and around in circles. Now then, Mr. Powers, please continue with your testimony.
That reminds me of the scene. Play dumb. Ooh, this is Morales. Not that dumb.
Not that dumb. Saw the two of them, the bellboy and the defendant, together, correct?
Yeah, the bellboy just wanted to say congrats.
Now, while you were watching the two of them, did you notice anything strange?
You know, I did feel something weird. I think it was because Matt, well, he gave the bellboy a tip.
We had to push on the tip.
The tip.
We have to press on the tip because we can't press on his face. Because his face gives it away. The defendant is a huge star. He can afford to give generous tips, wouldn't you agree?
Sure. But giving him that much was maybe a little too much, I think.
A little too much? Would you please clarify for the court? About how much would you say the defendant gave the bellboy?
Honestly, I don't know. I can't even begin to guess. And why is that? Because he gave the bellboy a really, really fat roll of cash.
A roll of cash?
Oh, well, how interesting. That certainly was a very generous tip, wasn't it?
A very fat roll of cash. That can hardly be called a tip, Your Honor. The judge is beginning to look awfully suspicious of us. Raise an objection or wait and see?
What do you think? Because I don't know anymore.
I mean, if he's suspicious, we have to object. Because we can't let him declare Matt guilty yet. Not until we know that Maya's safe. The defendant is a superstar. That kind of tip is typical fare for people like him. Are you saying that all superstars are super spenders? If I could receive large rolls of cash by simply bringing people things on trays, then why on earth would I stand around here prosecuting? He's got a point. I don't even get paid, let alone rolls of cash for all my hard work.
You should get paid though.
So supposing that roll of cash was not a tip, then what was it?
Payment, Your Honor.
Payment?
Dang it.
Either way, it would have come to this. Isn't it obvious? For the murder of Mr. Juan Carita.
Then the bellboy the witness saw.
Yes, he was the assassin.
Hold your horses now. Mr. Edgeworth, you don't have any proof of this, do you?
Have I ever been unprepared to support my claims, Your Honor? I have here the card Shelley the Killer left at the scene of the crime.
Shelley the Killer.
He's the person the police's special investigations team has been chasing for ages. I'm certain that the person the witness saw was this very assassin, Shelley the Killer.
Really? What's wrong, Mr. Powers? No, nothing. Something just clicked in my head. I think I just figured something out. Oh? Actually, I saw that bellboy again later on that night.
What?
Mr. Powers, please testify. Tell us what you saw. Yes, sir. Right away. Pal.
Can you pull me up?
Yep. I gotta figure out a different voice for him. What if I made him a little bit more gruff?
Way more gruff.
What do I mean more gruff? Like this, the second time.
This time, I was in that hallway because I had to go to the bathroom.
No?
That's too much. I'm sorry.
Wait, he's like a lion. So it makes sense for him to sound like that.
Yeah, but
And that's when that bellboy I saw earlier came out of the room.
no, I'm sorry. That's not working.
Of course, when I say room, I mean Juan Carita's room.
How's that?
Now that I think about it, that bellboy did seem kinda out of place. Yeah, so he had to be the assassin. I'm sure of it. I mean...
Thank you very much. That is all we need for now.
Huh? But I'm not done. There's still more.
Let us first establish that the bellboy was truly Mr. the Killer. Then we shall see.
So the bellboy came out of the victim's room. And if that bellboy really was the assassin, then I think the answer is fairly obvious.
That would be correct, Your Honor. Well, Mr. Wright, I believe it's your turn to entertain and make us laugh. Ha!
This is no laughing matter.
This time I was in that hallway because I had to go to the bathroom.
And what time was it?
Oh, well, I don't remember. The award ceremony ended around 8 p.m., right? And I went to Matt's room pretty soon after that. And then I came back. And then I went to the bathroom. So I guess maybe it was around 8:10 p.m. by that time? You're not one for details, are you, Mr. Powers? Sorry. I thought I could maybe catch Matt and say my congrats. And that's when that bellboy I saw earlier came out of the room.
How do you make your voice that deep and gruff?
What?
How do you make your voice so deep and gruff?
It takes a lot of practice.
And that high pitch.
I told you how to do that one. You gotta take your vocal cords and squish them.
What about deeper, gruffier voices?
That, it's kind of hard to describe. But, it is really hard to describe.
I'll take your word for it.
I mean, I'm a guy, so my voice is naturally deeper. So I can kind of make my voice deeper. Now I sound like a robot that's running out of power.
Are you sure it was the same bellboy?
Yeah.
And how could you tell? All the bellboys wear the same uniform after all.
But you see, well, he had those stitches in his face. Ugh. So I'm sure it's the same guy that was talking with Matt.
What other bellboy would have a zipper down his face?
Right? So which room did the bellboy come out of?
Of course, when I say room, I mean Juan Carita's room. Wrong button.
So what exactly was so out of place about him? Right. Why the insipid grin? Maybe because I have no idea what damaging thing he's going to say next?
Well, the bellboy was empty-handed.
Empty-handed?
That bellboy is one of those room service people, right? But he wasn't pushing a cart, and he wasn't holding a tray either. You'd call that a little strange, too, wouldn't you? I agree that it is a bit strange, Mr. Powers.
But is it really that unusual for a bellboy to be empty-handed? What should I do? Should I let Mr. Powers' testimony slide, or... should we try and pull a fast one? Where are you going? Stop going there. Stop.
I need a drink.
Are we going to let it slide, or are we going to try and pull a fast one?
I don't know. Everything flopped upside down on us.
Well, I saved. So, let's try pulling a fast one. There's nothing strange or unusual about an empty-handed bellboy.
But there really is.
There really isn't. If you two are done being school children, bellboys are for room service. There's no reason for them to be empty-handed, ever. Your Honor, I ask that the witness's previous statement be supplanted with this new one. Edgeworth. Are you going to do whatever you can and make the bellboy look suspicious?
I see. Very well. This court recognizes and grants the prosecution's request. Mr. Powers, if you could amend your testimony, please.
My hearing aid.
Yes, sir.
A little higher.
I thought it was kind of strange for a bellboy to come out of a guest's room empty-handed.
So you're saying that it's suspicious for him to be empty-handed?
Yeah, really suspicious. I mean, when I first saw that bellboy, he was holding a tray in his hand. And there was a bottle of juice and a wine glass on it.
Yeah, tomato.
Juice? What kind of juice was it?
Did you say
I'm
wine
pretty
glass?
sure it was tomato juice.
Did you say wine glass?
Yeah.
I thought she brought that with her.
Oh!
If we could come up with some sort of reason that's why he come out empty-handed. Some sort of proof. So I think we can dodge the bullet on this one for now.
Proof, huh? Sounds like another job for the court record.
Yeah, so he had to be the assassin, I'm sure of it.
We have to have some kind of proof that he would come out empty-handed. He had a bottle of tomato juice and a wine glass on a tray. And then when Will Powers saw him again, he no longer had the tray with a bottle of tomato juice and a wine glass.
Do we have to prove somehow that that's like in his room?
How do we do that?
Can I take a look at the crime photo? See, this would do it. I think. Hey, nailed it.
Mr. Powers,
Yes?
you're easily influenced by other people's words, aren't you? As soon as you heard that the bellboy might have been the killer, you got caught up in believing it must be true.
But, isn't he really suspicious? He's got all those stitches and...
So, a baseball has stitches. Are you saying that all baseballs are suspicious because they have stitches?
Well, there's also, what about him being empty-handed?
I'd like to ask the court to please take a look here.
This is the crime scene.
There's a wine glass sitting next to Mr. Kurita's body. The liquid inside this glass is tomato juice. And now, if you would look at what is on top of the table in the lower right corner here. Anyone can clearly see that it's a tray with a bottle of tomato juice on it. The bellboy had just brought this to Mr. Kurita's room. He left the tray in the room, which is why he was empty-handed when he left.
No, but that would mean that the bellboy had seen and left a dead body in the room.
Ah, but can you prove that Mr. Kurita was already dead at that time?
Mr. Edgeworth,
Yes.
I blame you for leading me down this route.
I'm terribly sorry. What is with him? Why is he laughing? Witness, isn't there one more thing you would like to share with us?
Is there?
The bellboy was empty-handed. Or should I say empty-handed? I recall you had something interesting to say about his hands.
Oh yeah, I almost forgot.
Huh? What?
That bellboy, he was wearing gloves.
Gloves?
Yeah, pitch black leather ones. All the other bellboys don't wear gloves like that, right? Black leather gloves. Why didn't you mention them earlier? Sorry, it slipped my mind.
Ugh, boy does this make the bellboy look really suspicious. Alright, gotta focus. I can't get lax here. So what if he had gloves? Why do you keep moving your head over there?
I'm trying to go against what little curve I have left.
Okay. Like you keep moving your head, and then your head goes...
Keep like my arm.
So what if he had gloves? A lot of bellboys wear gloves.
Come on, Mr. Wright. That bellboy was wearing black leather ones.
So, a football is made of leather. Are you saying all footballs are suspicious because they're made of leather?
But that man, he received a large roll of cash from the defendant.
I like that. Oh, so stitches are suspicious, huh? Are baseballs suspicious? They have stitches. Oh, the gloves are leather, huh? Footballs are made of leather. Are the footballs suspicious? We're stretching it out and stalling by arguing about the stupidest things.
And then he was seen leaving the crime scene wearing black leather gloves.
But then again, they make sense.
Right?
I don't think that even someone like myself can believe he was just another bellboy. Ugh.
It seems that we have finally come to an understanding. Now then, witness, please continue with the rest of your testimony. The rest?
Oh yes, please tell us more. Okay.
Their second meeting.
After leaving Juan's room, the bellboy went and knocked on Matt's door just like that. He gave something to the person inside the room. Then the old guy just left, without even going into the room. After that, I went to the bathroom and then back to my seat.
This killer is sloppy if he let a witness see him.
So the bellboy, after leaving the crime scene, next went to the defendant's room.
Actually, no, it makes sense because remember, he wants to make sure that the aftercare. He wants to make sure his client never gets seen as guilty. So he would let himself be seen. So everyone suspects him, not his client.
Yeah, I kind of saw all that by accident.
Some accident. I'd say you saw too much. And all of it was suspicious to high heaven.
I think it's safe to say that we can no longer consider this bellboy to be normal. Now then, let's get started, shall we? Mr. Wright, your cross-examination, please.
Yes, Your Honor. What are you doing, weirdo?
After leaving Juan's room, the bellboy went and knocked on Matt's door, just like that.
Is that what you saw while you were busy spying?
Excuse me? I may be poor, underpaid action star, but even I wouldn't stoop to spying. Well, I think the point is, where did you watch all this from, Mr. Powers? Oh, from the door of the bathroom, with my left eye, in a sort of sneaky, spy-like.
I knew he was spying. Please, does it really matter if he was doing it over or underhandedly? What did the bellboy do next? That's all I care to know.
He gave something to the person inside the room.
I said, hold it!
Okay.
That's better. What kind of statement is that? Please elaborate and give us a few more details.
Oh, okay.
I should probably ask him only one question at a time. About the person inside, about the something, or don't ask anything.
What do you think?
I think the something.
Yeah, me too.
He gave something to this person.
Yeah.
And what was this something?
If I remembered what it was, I wouldn't be calling it a something, would I? But this implies that something was removed from the scene of the crime. Are you sure you really can't remember, Mr. Powers? I think it was something kind of small.
This is an incredibly crucial piece of information. Please, try to remember what it was.
I'll try.
In the meantime, let's talk of another point.
Quiet, quiet.
What?
I heard the cats.
Yeah, they're probably yelling at each other. Namely, what the bellboy did next.
Oh, so after he gave the person inside the room the thing, then the old guy just left without even going into the room.
Where did this bellboy go after he left Mr. Ungard's room?
He opened the door to Viola Hall, went in there, and who knows after that, right?
I do.
After that, I went to the bathroom and then back to my seat.
Did you see anything strange, suspicious, or just out of the ordinary at that time?
Oh yeah, I saw that one thing.
What? He saw something else?
There was this jittery alien with a ray gun.
Oh,
It was watching Juan's door like some kind of stalker.
I think we can forget about the alien. Well, Mr. Powers' testimony just now was just as vague as his first.
it's a little troublesome, isn't it? But I'm sure if you can press him enough, everything will become clearer. Although that just makes it harder on us, doesn't it?
Ugh. Talk about a lose-lose situation. So do we ask if he's remembered what the thing is? What was it something?
If I remember what it was, I wouldn't be calling it something, would I? I think it was something kind of small.
I'll try and remember, okay. Let's see if he remembers who the person is. So who took this something the bellboy handed off?
Actually, I don't know.
What do you mean?
I'm sorry, but I only saw the person's arm. Only an arm.
Then you're saying you didn't see the person's face?
Yeah.
I would like to summarize the testimony up to this point, if you don't mind. When the bellboy left the crime scene, he immediately went to the defendant's room. There, he handed a small item of some sort to the person inside. As for the person who received the item, all you could see was the person's arm.
Yes. It was just like that. Mr. Edgeworth, is all this really that important?
Of course, Your Honor. I think this is of the utmost importance. This is when whatever was removed from the crime scene was handed over to the client.
Mr. Powers, please, try to remember what it was the bellboy handed off. Well, let's see. I think it was... No. If you remember, please add it to your testimony. Yes, sir. If I saw it again, I could say for sure, but I think it was some sort of wooden statue.
What is that?
A statue?
Yeah, it kind of looked like one, I guess. If I saw the actual thing again, I'd probably remember, you know?
Looks like for this trial to proceed, I'm going to have to come up with whatever this statue thing is and show it to him.
You're going to have to trust your instincts on this one and then take a chance, Phoenix.
Well, Mr. Powers, let's continue with your testimony. What did the bellboy do after that?
Can I look? Okay, get to the... Yeah, there. Okay. That's
I
not...
immediately thought it was suspicious. The first time I saw this item. I was curious as to why it would be where it was.
Is it the bear?
A wooden bear-shaped figurine is covered in many thin cuts. You think it's that?
Maybe. We totally got it.
Who was the one obsessed with bears? Or rather, that everyone gave bears.
Exactly. So why would Matt have one?
Exactly.
Just because his cat too like bears?
Ah.
Maybe cats like bears.
What was the point of that pregnant pause?
Where did that objection come from? Well, speak up.
It was me, Your Honor.
What is it, Phoenix?
I have a feeling that something bad is going to happen once I show this.
Mr. Wright, if you have something to say, please spit it out.
Yes, Your Honor. Okay, Phoenix, deep breath. Mr. Powers, was there another wooden figurine that we could have shown to, like, stall?
No, I don't think
No,
so.
there wasn't. Okay. Just making sure. Mr. Powers, there's something you saw. Was it this item?
Oh, hey, that's it. That's the something. Wow, Mr. Wright, you really figured it out.
I recall we found this at Matt and Guard's mansion.
At the defendant's house? What does this mean?
It's simple, Your Honor. Shelley the Killer assassinated Juan Carita in his room. And then he stole this wooden bear from the scene of the crime.
Then the bear being found in Mr. Ungard's mansion would mean...
It goes without saying, Your Honor. Mr. Matt Ungard is the killer's client.
Order! 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 I said order! Mr. Wright, this is the most unfortunate turn of events for you.
Yeah. Sorry, Mia.
No, it's alright. Your judgment was sound. Actually, I figured the bear would come up. If not now, then it would have... Then it would have later on. Oh, then it would have later on.
Yeah.
I was pronouncing that wrong. Even if you hadn't shown it to the court, I'm sure your friend Edgeworth would have.
That's true. Ah, I almost forgot that he knew about it, too.
I think it is clear that there is no need for us to continue this trial.
I can't let this happen. I have to do something. There has to be something we've overlooked. Your Honor, a minute, please.
Yes, Mr. Wright?
There's still a few points left that we have not fully explored. What are you trying to pull?
Oh, well, we can't have that.
Good idea. Saving now.
Alright, Mr. Wright, what questionable point would you like to explore further?
Powers' testimony, the person who received the bear, or the bear itself?
Can I go the other way?
That is not one of the options I gave you.
An option I my butt. Yeah, I definitely need to switch sides. My leg was starting to fall asleep.
Oh. So, his testimony, the person who received the bear, or the bear itself?
What do you think?
I think the bear.
Bear?
Yeah. They'll be like, well, why is it covered in all these cuts? I wonder. Remember, we're just trying to stall for time. I think it's fairly obvious that the bear itself is very questionable.
The bear, Mr. Wright?
This was found in Mr. Ungard's mansion. However, Mr. Ungard was arrested at the hotel that night, which means that since the murder occurred, he's not had a chance to go home. That's a good point.
We didn't even think of that.
I know. Oh. I think Your Honor has already figured out what I'm trying to say. It's not possible that it was Mr. Ungard who took this bear to his mansion.
Why, that's very true. We didn't consider that point, Mr. Wright.
This is like the most fitting Phoenix Wright playthrough ever. Because we're just stumbling our way into the right answers. And that's all Phoenix does. Is just keep talking until he gets it right. And then goes, oh, yeah, that's totally what I meant. Yeah.
There was no way, time-wise, for the defendant to have taken this bear home.
Phew. Disaster averted it. You haven't gotten the best of me yet, Mr. Wright. Huh? I remember it clear as day. I remember what you muttered to yourself at Ungard's mansion. We have this area completely surrounded. There's no way for him to escape. Can't believe it. That butler. All this time he was DeKiller. DeKiller and Ungard were working together, so to speak. And DeKiller was hiding at Ungard Mansion as its butler.
What a bold move.
The bear figurine was brought back to Ungard Mansion by DeKiller himself.
Then who did he hand it to?
When it looked like he was about to be arrested, Ungard had him do so. That is not Ungard. Or that is not DeKiller.
That's not even a person. That is a arm, a robot arm.
No, I'm saying that's not DeKiller. That's a Nickel Samurai's arm. But that's not DeKiller.
T-face on the side. How can you tell?
Because you'd still be able to see the stitches. They go right along the middle of his face, see?
Yeah.
You can see the middle of his face there. He has no stitches. That's not DeKiller. Are the stitches fake? Or did he use makeup to cover him up? Or does he have a twin? To Innocent. Shelly to Innocent.
I don't know. What's the opposite of killer?
Innocent. Doctor.
Liver?
Liver. Yes, liver.
No, that sounds good.
Shelly deliver. He gives pizza to people. Shelly deliver. Deliver.
This sounds like a Delibird scenario. Delibird.
Right.
Delibird. I'm sorry. In the anime, I don't know why they pronounce it Delibird.
I pronounced it Delibird at first too when I played the games, and then I realized, oh wait, he delivers presents.
It's Santa Claus.
Yeah,
Like,
so he is delivered.
But they call it Delibird in the.
They pronounced some of them wrong, remember. I assume because it would have been bad had the police found it during their investigation. Well, Mr. Wright, you've been quiet for a while now. This is too much. Isn't there anything I can attack at all? I have to try. I have to find something else.
What will you do now, Mr. Wright? Do you plan to...
I plan to expose a clearly shaky place in Mr. Powers' testimony.
What? There's still another one?
There is indeed, Your Honor, and it's quite a questionable point. What are you trying to pull?
Oh, well, we can't have that. Alright, Mr. Wright, what questionable point would you like to explore further?
All you saw was their arm, so how do you know it was him?
Plus, it was a robot arm.
Yes,
I know, it's part of the costume, but still, anybody can wear that.
Exactly. 2 people were wearing that costume at the time. There's one thing in Mr. Powers' testimony that was very unclear, and that is the identity of the person who received the bear.
He gave something to the person inside the room. I'm sorry, but I only saw the person's arm.
As long as we don't know who it was that took the bear, we can't be sure if... Ah!
What is it, Mr. Powers? If you're going to scream like that, then at least give us a good reason why. Oh, yeah, sorry. Actually, so, I remembered. I remembered who took the bear.
What?
Really? I mean, only saw his arm. But, the arm. It was the Nickel Samurai's arm, I swear it.
You've got to be kidding! Are you sure of that, Mr. Powers?
Yeah, I'm sure it was the Nickel Samurai. Order! Order! It looks like you've dug your own grave, yet again.
How many times is that today? I've lost count. So the person who took in this little bear was the Nickel Samurai. And as we all know, Matt on guard is the Nickel Samurai.
Yeah, so is Adrian.
Thanks to the defense, we've made that all the clearer. I think we've heard enough. We now know why this bear figurine was at the defendant's mansion, as well as who it was that received the bear from the assassin in his room. Everything has become very clear. The client who hired the assassin to commit the murder was Mr. Matt on guard. I see no reason for this trial to continue. Therefore, I will now hand down my verdict.
Thank you, Your Honor, for your understanding. You see, Mr. Wright, you could not win against the truth, could you? I knew it would turn out this way. After all, what Edgeworth has stated is the truth.
Any last objections, Mr. Wright?
Well, do I? What should I do?
Why am I always on the fence?
Well, I saved, so... It's basically... We know he's guilty. We're just stalling for time. So do we stall for more time? Or do we think that we've stalled long enough?
I don't know. It's like I would say, no, we haven't.
Okay. Then we'll say no, we haven't.
I'll now announce my
There's only one way for me to drag this trial out. The only thing I have left is this one dirty trick. Your Honor, right now we have these 2 reasons to believe my client is the assassin's client. Reason number 1, he accepted the bear figurine from the assassin. Reason number 2, that very same figurine was found at Ungard Mansion. However, it's possible this is all the work of a certain other person.
What are you saying?
What I'm saying is, it's possible a different person is the killer's real client. Someone else who would have that arm and would have access to Matt on Guard's mansion.
The real client?
Yes. Tisk tisk. Is this all you have?
Now then, Mr. Wright, let's hear your theory. Who do you say is the killer's real client, and therefore the real murderer?
Hey.
Remember, it has to be someone who has access to Matt's house and that would have the Nickel Samurai's arm. But
poor Adrian.
We gotta stall.
Adrian Andrews?
Yes, we already know that she tried to frame Matt on Guard for the crime. by wearing a spare nickel samurai costume.
Oh, then the nickel samurai's arm that I saw.
That could have very well been Miss Andrews.
But what about Mr. On Guard?
If you would please recall yesterday's testimony. The defendant was taking a nap during the break period.
That's right. Then, finding this figure at Mr. On Guard's mansion.
It was a well-laid trap set by Miss Andrews.
Mr. Edgeworth, what is your opinion on this?
I can't even begin to count the flaws in the defense's logic. Besides which, there is no evidence to support it. However, I can't fully discount its possibility either.
What's with this trial? Come on, anyone can tell Edgar did it.
I can't believe the defense will go so far as to pin the guilt onto someone else.
Yeah, unbelievable. It's not something petty. It's murder of all things.
This is to save Maya. This is to save Maya. Even if the whole world turns against me, this is one fight I can't give up on.
Order! 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 All disrupted parties will be forced to leave the courtroom.
Your Honor, for the benefit of the defense, I'm willing to play along with his what-if game.
His what-if game, Mr. Edgeworth?
The prosecution is prepared to challenge the defense's theory. Mr. Wright, even you must have thought it strange and wondered, why would the criminal want this little wooden bear? He's right. The killer did specially bring that bear to On Guard right away. Why do you ask? Is there something special about it? Absolutely. And I'm sure that once the court knows its significance, the true killer's identity will become crystal clear. If you tilt its head, it says the time.
Are you never
Nope.
over that?
Never gonna. Your Honor, the prosecution calls upon a witness who will clear all doubts against Miss Andrews.
And who would that be?
It's quite simple, Your Honor. Miss Adrian Andrews herself. Duh.
Again?
I see. Well then, the court will take a short 10-minute recess.
Again?
The prosecution will prepare its witness in that time.
Yes, Your Honor. March 23rd, 11:54 a.m. District Court. Defendant lobby number 3.
Oh, I knew it was a good idea to hold her hostage. Don't you agree, Mr. Lawyer? But I never thought in your desperation you'd try to pin the guilt onto Adrian.
Ah, I swear this demon will pay.
Mr. Nick,
Pearls? Where's Mia?
I don't know. A really strong power suddenly called her away.
Maya.
Maya.
A really strong power?
Please beam me up. Please beam me in Maya's body, please. Oh, Mr. Nick, your phone is...
It's from Gumshoe.
How's it going? Have you been hanging in there, pal?
Yeah, sort of. We just barely found something to latch onto.
Phew, that's good, pal.
And what about you? Anything yet? Have you figured out where the killer and Maya are?
We still don't have any leads, but
What? We don't have any more time.
if we just had one, even a single clue would be really helpful.
I was only able to come this far because I kept thinking to myself, I've got to keep the child going until Maya's been rescued. But have I just run out of luck this time? Is all our hope for naught? A tent! Huh? A tent?
I can see a circus tent.
Mia!
It looks like Maya was unconscious until a few minutes ago. As soon as she woke up, she called for me.
So it was Maya that called you away.
She's locked in a dusty little room right now. But I can see a circus tent outside the window, about 300 feet away.
Are we going back to the very big circus?
I think we might be.
Gumshoe! Is there a circus in town right now?
There's only one, pal. The Very Big Circus.
Maya's somewhere within a 300-foot radius of the main tent.
What? Okay, hold on a sec, pal. Hey, draw a circle on that map. About 300-foot radius from the main tent. Hurry!
And
And?
I can see a mailbox under the window just outside.
Gumshoe, there's also a mailbox.
Okay, what else?
What else, Mia?
I'm sorry, but it was a very small window. I couldn't see anything else. It felt like I was in an old office building. Maybe the third floor or so.
I heard her. An old office building. Good stuff, pal. Okay, just hang in there. Just a little longer, pal. Wish us luck.
Good luck.
I'll call you later, so don't let your battery die, okay, pal?
Mia, Mai's not hurt, right?
She's in pretty bad state, Phoenix. She seems starved.
Gumshoe, please hurry.
Looks like we're out of time. Are you alright, Phoenix?
It's only a matter of time before Maya is rescued. I can do this. I just have to make this trial last a little longer. March 23rd, 12:05 p.m., District Court, Courtroom number 3.
Ew.
Court will now reconvene.
It's still counting as part 1. Okay. Bless you. The killer, the man who murdered the victim, handed this to his client. From this, one obvious question arises. Why this particular item? I believe the answer to that question will provide us with the name of the real culprit. Now then, the prosecution calls the defendant's manager, Adrian Andrews, to the stand. Currently, the witness is accused of tampering and obstruction of justice. However, you have been called to the witness stand today to ascertain who exactly is guilty of murder.
I understand.
Yeah, so she's already in trouble for tampering and obstruction of justice. Because she stabbed the body and tried to hide who actually killed Juan. But they dragged her back out to be like, okay, you gotta testify first. Very good. Now, have you ever seen this bear before, Miss Andrews?
Of course I have.
You've seen it before?
That's right. It's only natural that the witness has. Miss Andrews, could you please enlighten the court to this bear's secrets?
Oh boy. Alright.
I'm going to do a happy dance if it says the time when you tilt its head. Because, seriously... Why? Why does she... The bear figurine.
Okay, here we go. Actually, this is an elaborate puzzle.
Oh.
So it's a puzzle box. If you know the correct order, it can be taken apart one piece at a time. At its center is a small cavity. A cavity with just enough room to store in a small item. Because of its complexity, if you don't know the order, you can't open the bear. You really can't tell that it's a small jewelry box just by looking at it.
What's inside the bear?
Smash it open! Smash it open!
Well, no, she obviously knows how to take it apart.
So this figurine, it's a container of sorts, is it?
What's inside the bear? Because whatever it is...
We're gonna need...
The killer clearly took it from Juan's room specifically for Matt.
Yes, looks can be deceiving. Wouldn't you agree?
Yes, this is superb craftsmanship. Oh, yes, I nearly forgot. You may begin your cross-examination, Mr. Wright.
It looks like it really was something to that bear after all.
puzzle.
That's right.
But it looks like an ordinary figurine.
True enough. To people who don't know, I'm sure they would never guess that this was a puzzle. So what kind of puzzle is this exactly? I think I know what's inside it.
What?
We'll find out. So you can take it apart. And how would one go about doing that?
Well, if you first turn its tail to the right and then push it in.
Oh, yes, I see.
After that, the arms and legs are free to move and can be removed.
Ooh, this is most interesting.
A boy and his new toy. It's like he's 5 all over again.
I can't do it. Oh, don't mind me. Go ahead and carry on.
I think he's lost it. So what do you find after you take the puzzle apart?
Its center is a small cavity, blah blah blah.
And how do you know about this?
I know because I was the one who bought it.
Huh?
It was a souvenir from when a friend and I went to Switzerland.
Then this was a present from you?
That's right. I can't see. Okay. It was a puzzle in the shape of a bear. So I thought it would be perfect for Warren.
So it was a present from Miss Andrews. Witness, let's continue with your testimony. So who exactly knew how to solve this puzzle?
Only 2 of us, Warren and myself. It was a souvenir from Switzerland. So I doubt there was meant that there are. So I doubt there are that many people with the same bear in this country.
But this looks like it can be easily broken. Especially if someone wanted to get at what's inside.
Well, it's a toy. But it can never be the same again once it's been broken.
Who else knows that this bear is actually a small container or jewelry box?
I never told anyone. And as long as Warren never told anyone either, only the 2 of us knew.
The 2 of you, huh? Then of course that means Mr. Ungar didn't know, right? I think this is about all I'm going to get for now. Figurine updated. A wooden puzzle with a hollow inside. Only Karita and Andrews know how to open it.
Are we not going to open it?
Well, Mr. Wright, I think even you have come to realize that there is one very important fact we have uncovered, and that is this. This bear is actually a jewelry box. Now that we have agreed to this point, there's only one logical question that can come next, and that is this. What's inside it? What is inside this box?
What's inside?
That's right. That's what we're going to find out next. Witness.
Yes?
You are the only one who can open this. Please. Oh boy.
Oh boy.
There's a painful silence hanging over the courtroom. All eyes are on Miss Andrews now as she solves the puzzle.
Click.
It skipped over it. And takes the bear apart.
I've opened it.
Is it a piece of paper? It's a piece of paper!
Is this what you wanted?
What is that? It looks like a note.
I don't think we need to guess at what that is. Do we, Mr. Wright? Do you know what it is?
No.
You don't?
All I know is that's gonna involve.
It is the suicide note.
Suicide note?
Celeste?
The suicide note.
The suicide note left by Juan Carita's former manager, Celeste Impacts. Until now, no one knew of its whereabouts, but just as we suspected, it was hidden. Hidden by the victim, Juan Carita himself. And for some reason, not once did Adrian think to check the one thing that only him and her knew how to open. The perfect hiding spot. It seems Celeste Impacts had very beautiful handwriting, and she just as beautifully signed her own name on this document. This is most definitely the note she left right before she committed suicide.
Can we read it, or?
Right? What does it say?
Order! Witness, did you know about this?
Yes, I did. I heard all about it from Warren. When I discovered his body, I looked for the bear. I wanted to destroy the note before it became public.
She did say she wanted to burn the note.
But I couldn't find it anywhere.
Because it had already been taken by the killer.
Everything is going at Edward's pace. So now that the suicide note has been found, what's the next logical question?
What does it say? What is written on the note?
That's right. At least, that's what I would think.
Now then, I believe it is only appropriate the contents of this note be made known.
I can't stop you, can I? I went through so much just to get my hands on it. And I was going to burn it for her sake.
I'm deeply sorry, but I can't allow you to persuade me to stop. Your Honor, if you could please read the contents of the note aloud.
Very well.
The judge's voice rang loud and clear through the deathly silent courtroom. In her note, Celeste Impacts left to us a record of all that had happened to her. About being used and then thrown away by Engard. About being engaged to Carita and Engard's role in destroying that. And about how she decided, in her despair, to end it all.
And that's all Miss Impacts had to say.
There's one thing I would like to say here. The prosecution has no interest in slandering Mr. Engard.
Then, what?
Our intention, Your Honor, is to establish a motive for murder. Isn't that correct, witness?
Yes. On the night of the murder, Warren was going to make the contents of the note public. After the post-ceremony show, she was going to hold a press conference.
My word.
Matt Engard values, above all else, his refreshing like a spring breeze image. Which is why he had to stop this note from being made public. At any cost. Found inside the figurine, it tells of Engard's horrible misdeeds.
It's Engard's fault that woman killed herself.
And this time he even went so far as to kill someone to stop him from revealing that.
How terrible. What a selfish person.
I guess there are slimeball lawyers out there who will defend these creeps too.
There's no room for doubt here. Mr. DeKiller's client's goal was to obtain this suicide note. And the only person who needed this note that badly is the defendant. Let's not forget that the bear with the note inside was found at the defendant's house.
Why do I smell cinnamon?
I don't know.
It seems that we have come to the truth at last. The defendant's motives were entirely selfish. He deserves no sympathy from anyone.
Look, how am I supposed to escape from this one?
Why did I have to say some Phoenix? Gumshoe hadn't called yet. So you know what you must do.
I know. I have to carry on and buy him some more time. Okay. There are two deadly pieces of evidence. The figurine and the suicide note. Maybe somehow I can find a way out of the situation through one of those.
The gavel's already in the judge's hand. Phoenix, hurry!
The suicide note or the figurine. Which one of those should I pursue?
Uh, what do you think? Say, please, tell me better. I don't know.
I think the note. Please wait, Your Honor.
Oh man, look at that lawyer. He's still going at it?
It's like he doesn't care that he's trying to get a killer out the hook.
I think Your Honor believes that Madame Guard killed in order to obtain this note.
Yes, that is correct.
But that seems a little strange. In fact, I think there's a contradiction here. This note was hidden by Mr. Kurita until the night of the murder. If that's the case, I say that Madame Guard could not have known what was written on this note. How did he know what was written on the note if Juan hid the note immediately?
Oh, I didn't think of it that way.
Exactly. But I did think of it that way, and I thought it was rather strange. No one in their right mind would kill for a note without first knowing what it said.
Order! 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 You make a valid point, Mr. Wright. Mr. Edgeworth, what's your opinion?
It was just a flash, but I think I did rather well on this one.
Unfortunately, I think he believes differently.
I believe a show of appreciation is in order.
Huh?
The defense seems to be in love with wishing more despair upon itself. I would like to direct the court's attention to this.
What is that?
It is a very small video camera, Your Honor. This type of camera is commonly used as a means of spying.
Spying?
What the? I thought that spy camera was in my possession. Madame Guard and the victim both thought of the other as their biggest rival. They even went so far as to use this type of item to find each other's weaknesses.
And?
The victim, Juan Kurita, was being spied on. His personal life was being watched by none other than Matt on Guard.
Order! Order! Mr. Wright,
Yes, Your Honor?
you... Don't tell me you knew about your client's spying activities.
Well, sort of.
Sort of is not an acceptable answer, Mr. Wright.
I see you're confused, Mr. Wright. You're probably thinking, but I have the camera that was in the stuffed bear's eye. But this camera that I have is not that same one. Last night I searched the victim's house on a hunch. Using this. Gumshoe's bug sweeper. By the way, Mr. Wright, the defendant's fingerprints were found on this camera.
Madame Guard's fingerprints were on there?
Well, Phoenix, looks like those cameras are hidden all over the place, huh?
What am I supposed to say to that evidence? I think this is the end. It's fairly obvious that Mr. On Guard learned of the suicide note through this. He was watching the victim all along. He got me good this time. I don't have anything to counter that. Hey, now what's that lawyer thinking?
Mommy, does that mean the bad killer guy?
Shush, stop. Don't look at him. The way he's sweating is just so, ew, nasty.
Phoenix,
Yes, Chief?
have you figured out what you're going to do next yet?
What I'm going to do next? Does running away like a frightened child work?
I know it seems like at first you're very close to putting the lid on this case. But in his eagerness to prove his point, he forgot one very important thing.
Well, what is it, Mia?
There is a piece of evidence that he really should investigate.
Something he should investigate.
I would really hate to see the good prosecutor get scolded for not remembering to look into the item when he had the chance.
Why are you speaking in riddles all of a sudden?
Alright, I think this time we finally understand everything. Well, Mr. Wright, you don't have any further objections, do you?
What is this piece of evidence that Mia is talking about? Can I figure out what it is that still needs to be looked at, or should I let it go? I'm going to save not because we need to figure out which choice here to make, because we obviously have to present evidence.
Another.
I have an objection, Your Honor. Tisk, tisk, tisk. That was about the weakest objection I've ever heard, Mr. Wright. That better? Your Honor, the defense has no intention of letting this go so easily.
You're beginning to sound desperate.
That's just your imagination, Your Honor. Mr. Edgeworth, this is not like you at all. In your eagerness to prove your point, you've forgotten one very important thing.
Say, isn't that what I just said?
So you're telling me that I forgot something. You're so close, Mr. Edgeworth. But there's something you really should examine about this piece of evidence. I think it's that.
Maybe.
Well, Mr. Edgeworth?
Yes, I do believe some special examination is needed. But I think the item that should be examined is the defense's gray matter. Whoops. Okay, we obviously have to present evidence. What didn't he look into when he had the chance? Is it this? Because we have to say, did you find the video? Is it the bear? The receipt? This bear? What is it?
I really don't know.
What does he need to investigate? You're so close, Mr. Edgeworth, but there's something you really should examine about this piece of evidence. I will throw every piece of evidence at you until I get it right.
That's not what like a lazy skeleton thing to do.
That is Miss Impact's suicide note, right?
He was in such a rush to prove that Matt Ungard was guilty that he just went, yeah, suicide note. See, Matt? She says that Matt, did horrible things to her. So she killed herself. There. See? I proved it. Matt's evil. Who knows? I mean, sure, this suicide note was found inside this bear. But this bear was in my possession until only a few moments ago. Which means the handwriting on the suicide note has yet to be analyzed. How do we know it's Celeste? All we know is Edgeworth said, Miss Celeste was a beautiful woman, and so she wrote beautifully. Well, how do we know this is her handwriting?
So
Oh.
no, she can write like me.
Right? So,
And it's not the worst in the world, it's not the best either.
as to whether this pivotal piece of evidence was really written by Miss Impacts or not, that has yet to be even remotely confirmed.
Mr. Wright, you can't seriously be suggesting...
Mr. Wright. Are you saying that the suicide note is fake? Is it fake?
What if it turns out that Juan had it written? What, she wrote it?
Maybe, but why?
Because she hates Matt. She hates Matt. And all Juan would have to say is, yeah, Matt broke her heart. Look, here's the suicide note. Matt broke her heart. See? Or actually, no, because she wrote the suicide note in my theory there. So, no. Matt broke her heart. She told me that, she had her heart broken because he just used her and then threw her out. You want to get back at Matt? Write a little note. Pretend to be Celeste. We'll frame him for it. And then when the time comes and it's perfect, I'll reveal this note that Celeste wrote. Miss Andrews, you were the one who tried to pin this murder on Mr. Ungard. Who's to say you didn't create a fake suicide note and put it into this bear?
How dare you?
She has no idea where the suicide note is. The killer brought her the bear. She took it with her nickel samurai arm and then undid it and put it in a fake suicide note and redid it again. Your Honor, the defense is indiscriminately accusing the witness again. There's no evidence linking the witness to the suicide note whatsoever. But if this is a fake, then the witness is the only person who could have made it. What? Recall the witness's testimony concerning this figurine. The only person other than the victim who could solve the puzzle is the witness herself.
Ah!
Miss Andrews, you wrote this note, didn't you? You wrote it so you could use it to frame Matt Ungard.
I didn't know such thing.
Death Mother says, am I late? We're accusing the witness of faking a suicide note. So, not technically late, no. Right. If you're going to pronounce this suicide note a fake, then show this court some evidence to support your theory. Mr. Edgeworth, you were the one who presented this scrap of paper as evidence. That means the burden of proof lies with you, the prosecution.
Ah! That's enough. Mr. Edgeworth, can you confirm the handwriting on the suicide note?
This is the defense stated. The handwriting has yet to be analyzed.
If that's the case, it seems that yet again we have reached a point where a verdict is impossible.
That's impossible!
This isn't good, Phoenix.
The judge is going to carry this trial over one more day. I don't think Maya will physically be able to make it another day.
I didn't want to have to do this, but I don't have a choice. I request that both the prosecution and defense further investigate.
Handwriting analysis, my butt. That's just Lord trying to buy more time.
Vanguard is guilty. Look, any idiot can tell you that.
I think we reached the end of the line.
I'm doing Sans battle while watching. Oh boy.
Guilty, 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 guilty.
Guilty, guilty, guilty.
What does that sound?
It's Gumshoe. Hello? Gumshoe? What's with him? And what's with that sigh? Where's Maya? What happened to kill her?
He got away.
What?
I'm sorry, pal. I really am. I don't know what to say besides I'm sorry. Wish there was some way to make it up to you. I really do.
Anyway, what's going on?
We found his hideout, pal. But the two of them were already gone.
This is terrible.
I'm going to keep looking for them, pal. Don't you worry. I just need a little more time.
But
Don't tell me we don't have any more. Guilty, guilty, guilty.
Guilty, guilty, guilty.
Guilty, guilty, guilty.
hang on. Do you hear that? They're calling for his head.
Mr. Wright, I can't for us to come this far and
Oh! What is it?
let me talk to Mr. Edgeworth.
I can't do that.
Mr. Wright, would you please get a hold of yourself?
Yes, Your Honor.
I'm about to end today's proceedings. You may take your phone calls after.
Hold on, Your Honor. Edgeworth, catch! Whop! Take that! Just throws the phone across the courtroom.
Mr. Edgeworth? Please, you've got to buy some more time.
Court is in session. Click. I'm sorry, Your Honor. You were saying?
Mr. Wright, this is a court of law.
I'm sorry, Your Honor, but
I'm reluctant to do this. However, it appears that I have no choice but to suspend proceedings until tomorrow.
this time I really can't do anything.
Court is now adjourned for the day.
And my life is on your head, idiot.
Yeah, no, he's speaking out. Please wait, Your Honor. I like that he's like,
You have to buy us more time, Mr. Edgeworth.
court is in session. Sorry about that. What were you saying? But then I'm guessing he saw how distraught we are. And he's like, oh, Maya's not going to make it another day, is she? Edgeworth?
What is it, Mr. Edgeworth?
I humbly request another 30 minutes of Your Honor's time.
For what purpose?
We can perform the necessary tests on this piece of evidence in that time.
But can you really obtain your results in 30 minutes?
I believe we can, Your Honor.
But wouldn't it be better if we adjourn for today and then reconvene tomorrow?
30 minutes. Please, Your Honor. That's all I'm asking for. Please, Your Honor.
Very well. At the prosecution's request, this court will now take a 30-minute recess. But be advised that I will not allow another recess today.
I'm not sure if this is helping or hurting us.
The court will now take its final recess of the day.
March 23rd, 2:04 p.m. District Court. Defendant Lobby Number 3.
That music is still playing.
Right. Well, what's going on with my situation? The killer looks like he got away again. 30 minutes? We can't find her in that time. Report! Like, he just, took the phone from us.
No, is that Mr. Edgeworth?
We don't have time, just spit it out.
Right. It looks like we just missed them, sir. but the killer left a few things behind by accident in his rush to get away.
A few things. Can we use any of them as evidence?
I thought you'd ask, pal. I've got the things he left with me right now, and I'm on my way over.
Really?
Watch in the next, like, 2 seconds. He's gonna come rushing through the door.
Right? Doing his low animation. That's odd. Any items like that are usually sent to the crime lab first.
We don't have time to wait for those guys, sir. When those guys weren't looking, I swiped the stuff and ran.
Wow, that's evidence we can use to find a killer.
Hey, what's that?
Huh? What's what? Where are you going? What?
Well, I'm not a detective anymore, so I had to. I'm really sorry, sir, but I've got to put the law on hold for now.
Sounds bad. I hope he doesn't get in too much trouble over this.
With my hunk-of-junk car, I'd say I'll be there in about 20 minutes, sir. Don't worry, I'll be there. Wait for me.
All right. Just get here in one piece.
I'm on a mission and no one can stop me now, sir. No one. I'm pulling out all the stops and running every red light.
Items left by the murderer, huh? Maybe there's something among them that will be decisive enough to end this. Hey, what's wrong? Detective Gumshoe, answer me!
My arm. Did we get jammed again?
No, I think he just crashed the car. Or dropped the phone.
No one can stop me.
What happened? It sounded like he had an accident. I'm guessing his cell phone broke as well. What was he thinking? We've got to hurry and call for help. But we have no idea where he is. His cell phone is broken, and he wasn't driving a patrol car, so no radio either. Also, if we don't get to those items before they do, the police will take possession of them. No! We can't let that happen! Well, if there is a way we can find out where he is, then we stand a chance. Why oh why did Gumshoe have to get into an accident now? Is there any way to find out exactly where he is at this moment? There is a way, or there is no way?
Ooh, what do you think?
There's gotta be a way.
I hope so.
There's gotta be a way. That's right, there is a way. What? How? I'm sure we can find out where Detective Gumshoe is through this.
I don't know.
That? It's either that or it's this. But we don't know what items he has that the killer left behind. They left in a hurry, so he would have left stuff behind. So I don't think he would have had a chance to get the radio equipment gone. It doesn't cost any health anyway. Right, we're not in the middle of a mock trial here. I guess this won't work, huh? I guess it's up to me. Alright, I'll think of something on my end.
Wait, when did we last save?
I don't know. When did we last save? I'm actually going to cheat and look up what it is that we were supposed to present. What is it? It's Farewell My Turnabout.
I'm kind of hot.
Kind of hot. How's that?
My leg.
My leg. My leg. my arm, my butt, my head, my spleen, my squealy spooch.
Your what?
All right, let's see. This is part one. We don't need part one. Walk through. Like, seriously, I want to know if there actually was something that we could have presented. Duh. Don't get too mad at me, Sora.
If you watch this.
You're so close, Edgeworth. What was the evidence that we had to point out? The suicide note.
Yeah, no.
There is a way to find out exactly where he is. I can't believe I forgot about it.
Can we present it though?
Yes, it's something we can present. It's not evidence, though. Think about it. Is there someone who knows exactly where he is at all times?
Oh, right.
Yeah. I looked it up, and as soon as I saw the name, I went, oh my god, of course. Objection. Oh, no, right. So yeah, we saved quite a while back, but... Objection. He's like, give me 30 minutes. Okay. I can't believe that we completely forgot about the fact that he's always being tracked.
I hope she can help us.
What?
I hope that she can help us.
Oh, I'm sure she can.
I hope she will.
That's a better question. There is a way. That's right, there is a way. What? How? I'm sure we can find out where Detective Gumshoe is through this. Yeah, see, through this, instead of, through them.
Through her, more likely.
Why are you bringing up Franziska at a time like... Oh, I see. I'll try and get in contact with her. The chances are slim, but she's all we have.
Can't believe we're asking help from her.
Right? Franziska. Will she even want to help us? Edgeworth. What is it? I don't have any right to judge anyone ever again. I know my client is guilty. But what I'm doing now, I'm pinning the guilt onto someone totally innocent and using the evidence to do so. It might be my turn to say defense attorney Phoenix Wright chooses death. Right. It doesn't suit someone like you to cry useless tears. Whether you did your job well or not, that can only be seen after the verdict has been decided. The verdict. Is Prosecutor Edgeworth here? Is Prosecutor Edgeworth here? Yes, Bailiff.
There's a phone call for you, sir. They said it was extremely urgent. They're probably finished with the handwriting analysis. I have to go take this call. In the meantime, think hard about what it is you must do. To be continued.
Twitching!
Stop twitching.
So what do you think? Stop there?
If we continue, then we might be going until like 1 o'clock in the morning.
Okay, you. No, thank you.
Yeah.
I've had enough of all that trash.
Yeah, I think next will be the big grand finale of this trial.
More than likely. Then on to the next.
Yep.
And then the next.
I think there's only 5 trials per game.
15 low. Wonderful.
Right?
And they're insanely long because they take like 15 days just to finish one trial day. It's insane and I don't like it. It's exhausting. And to be honest, it's getting kind of old. It really is.
Okay.
Okay. We can talk about this more later.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, guys. Well, I hope you enjoyed today's episode of Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney, and
Yeah.
like I said, I got out at stupid 6 o'clock, and it was still dark out,
Yep.
and I was not happy. My brain was like half asleep. Anyway. And we hope to see you for maybe the grand finale? I mean, it looks like the grand finale.
Right.
I mean, look at the order that these things go into. That the episodes go into.
What do you mean?
Ron rising from the ashes, right?
The what? The bottom one is from the ashes?
No, we're on rising from the ashes. Right?
No. No. Rise from the Ashes was the one with Emma Skye. We're on Farewell My Turnabout, the one in the middle.
Then it's Reunion, my turnabout.
These are just save files.
See, I know that.
Yes.
Oh, are these like all the save files that we've done?
Yeah, watch. These are the save files that we've got. So we could load any of these at any time.
Huh. Okay, I thought they were like the episodes.
No, no. The episodes are the big pictures, remember?
Yeah, no, it's just there's a 1 there, and then there's 2 there, and then there's a 3 there. Netflix, okay? Netflix. They have the same, like, layout. You know, when you're watching a series and you go into more episodes?
Mm-hmm.
And it has, like, all the episodes from 1 to whatever, all the way down.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I think it's the episodes.
Gotcha.
In a nutshell.
Yep. I get you.
Anyway. I really need to stop rambling. So we'll see you for some more. So we hope to see you for some more on Monday. So, bye guys!
Farewell.